Alright, everyone, Supreme Kami here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Welfare Beginning 30 Gundam here. So this is going to be a spin around of how the Beginning 30 Gundam looks like. It looks fairly cool, honestly. In terms of the overall design, it looks fairly kind of, jam-packed with a lot of kind of part separation. You got like just kind of basically a lot of triangular parts just kind of all over the place. You got some killer effect parts, a lot of beam sabers in the back, so that's actually in terms of the unit, it's just really kind of how this it really stands out in a way. So you just kind of know this is like, oh, just from like a far distance, for example, you already know this is like, beginning dirty Gundam, for example. So that is that. In terms of the overall stat, this is what we are looking at. I actually did went ahead and upgraded all these parts to 5-star, and also to apply 2 gold marks into them. So that's why these are going to be the following stat we are looking at. I didn't bother pumping up to 6-star just because I don't want to be spending the resources at the moment, but you guys can definitely see the stat right now. In terms of armor, I think it's not even that too shabby. Kind of keep that in mind, we don't even have any active war tag that is further boosting the armor stat right here. So 23,000, that's actually quite high. In terms of the respective offensive, melee, and shot, they are gonna be on, like, in terms of melee, definitely gonna be on the lower end tier. Just just looking at the EXQ, this one is simply gonna be quote unquote more or less like a shooting base specifically. We can take a look at the war tag and see which one is specifically boosting. So we got for computer, for space, pro tag, okay, and Gundam side. So this one is like a mixture of kind of everything. So for computer, it's definitely going to be the best word tag that is applicable, just because where it's kind of originated and all that. So portrait wise, let's do kind of see the overall portrait. I'm just gonna click on each individual part as we do talk about them. So overall stat max out, these are going to be the following. So armor is definitely very prominent here. 8k on shot attack, and then almost 3k for that melee or that shot defense. So that's actually quite good. It's gonna be unfortunate that we are gonna be stuck with a beam Vulcan, so probably pretty much nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. So moving over onto the torso, what are we looking at? 6k for the armor, huh? That's fairly good. So continue the trend, we do have some pretty good, pretty respectable, I wouldn't say like really high, 2700 for your shot attack, and then 3k for your defense. So kind of there. I guess the sacrifice of like the offensive stat or even a defensive stat is that you have some pretty good armor, so that is definitely a trade-off. Like they wouldn't just give you everything's a good parameter, for example, or every category. So portrait wise, ooh, this one is actually not that bad. This one is gonna strictly for your computer, so EXQ CD reduced by 20%, so that's actually good for the welfare selection. So if anyone is, let's say, running a for computer tag, this is definitely something that might fit into you guys' budget, so that's good. That's definitely really good. Okay, so moving over to the arm, in terms of the portrait, we have one of these kind of like on the niche end of it. So this is for 8 seconds after attack it with an EXQ, shooting power boost by 40%. So just judging with this one, so for 8 seconds after being be attacked, it should be being, right? Let me see, for 8 seconds after be attacked it with an EXQ. Yeah, so I believe you have to get attacked first. So if you take an EXQ, for example, and then after that, like that 8 seconds, that following 8 seconds, you would have the ability to get a shooting power boosted. Because remember, the other MC from the GN Discord server, he basically tested this out. So I believe after the 8 seconds, in order to reapply it, you would have to take hits again. So in terms of these kind of portrait, they're not really that self-sustained anyway, because if you generally do take an EXQ for like an EXQ hit, you are pretty much going to die after that in most cases. So yeah, it's not the best, but it's definitely a very interesting one, I would say. So if your build is somewhat tanky enough, or someone is let's say has the durability to withstand that, then you're good. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't really recommend using this portrait overall. So that's that. But it's not bad overall. Definitely does have some different flavor of portrait going on. So we got the Awakening, we got the IFS unit barrier. So this one is actually, if I recall, better than the standard version. because the standard version does not come with an actual health recovery. So in terms of the leg part, definitely dumps up on the welfare version. So let's kind of take a look at the remaining effects. So still gonna be raising your shot. Oh, shot deep. Oh wow. So this one is like completely going full defense. So this one is like extremely defensive base. Wait, was this one doing any shot increase, for example? Let me hold up. Oh, it was always a pure defensive. Okay, I mean, sure. I guess it's not a bad option if you want this types of stuff. I mean, like, I guess you can definitely make good use of it. Yeah, like because if we do take a look at this effects, there's total of four, defensive type effects here. You got the health recovery, defensive up, beam resistant up, and then you also do have a period of time where you're resisting or you resist to flinching, so that's actually quite good. So not bad as a free to play option. You don't really have to spend anything to get it, so it's not bad overall. So just another collection to our box definitely. And moving over to the casting, we have the IFS unit combo. So this one is I feel like this is where they kind of dropped the ball. In terms of the standard version, this one is looking at already like what 8 power already, and then if you do Austria the standard one, that one is already looking at an S power, but this one is not. I have no idea why they decided to take 5 step back. It's weird. I don't know, like from Fusion, and then we had Dynamis, and then we have this one, right? They dropped the ball for 2 weeks straight, like, or yeah, 4 weeks straight basically. I beats me, man. I can't really tell you guys why they did that, but unfortunate, I guess. But going back to the overall stat, you guys can definitely see that it is definitely on the lower end tier. That is because it is sacrificed it into putting kind of everything into the armor base right there. So still in terms of the shot department, still the prominent aspect of it, 1800 and 1600, so basically 1700. So it's kind of okay, I guess, in a way. So that's unfortunate in a way, I guess. Like I just don't know. Moving over to the beam saber. Okay, almost reaching that 9k, so that's actually pretty good. Portrait wise, definitely not anything worth mentioning, but in terms of the EX or the actual beam saber, definitely going to be more or less on the aesthetically base, having a B3 beam saber base right there, so that's actually quite good, honestly. And last but not least, we do have the beam rifle, so let's see what we are rocking with. So 9k for your shot attack right there, and then in terms of the portrait, gonna be one of those that isn't really too prominent. It's gonna simply just kind of increase your job gauge boost by a 13%. So I'm pretty sad in terms of the portrait wise. I don't think there's anything too prominent or anything too important except the torso, so an unfortunate way. So let us take a look at the standard version. So in terms of the standard version, these are pretty much good, what are going to be the applicable vortex and all that. So kind of keep that in mind since we do have 2 different attributes. So there's definitely going to be that link attribute. So I'm just going to simply click on one part. So you guys can see that we are currently having some link right there. So you guys can see that in terms of the active link ability, I am getting, in terms of using this part specifically, in the main slap, for example, you are going to be getting a 3% all power boosting and then 2% any damage and mitigation, so that's actually quite good. And then if we do take a look at the activation requirement list, if I pump both of them up to 6-star, for example, then we will be able to gain an additional 3%. So pretty much if we talk about any of these parts, they are pretty much getting an invincible 6%. Obviously you can see it, but in terms of like this roster, like this kind of scrolling through like these tabs, so you're not seeing it. So kind of like a invisible or like a passively apply, so it's actually not bad. But I would just simply say in terms of, let's say, the link attribute link, it's just something that is not really too talked about because it's pretty much not something you can even do about that. It is pretty much some power applied to you or to the part that is actually on the main build. Your part has to be on the main build in order to actually activate the link attribute. or if you subslot these any of these parts, for example, they're not gonna get applied to that. So kind of something to keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna be applying this into my 100% shot based cooldown reduction type build, and then we are gonna simply try it out. Just gonna run some of the EXQ, and after that I am gonna hop into a quick friend battle. Gonna see how much power we can actually do with this EXQ. Quite sad, honestly, in terms of cutscene, for example, dumping it down to only C power at the moment, but we'll definitely see what's going on as we do hop in. Alright, so hopping into the multi-mission here, so look at those effects, butterfly effects, yeah, that looks nice. So let me actually use the cutscene first. I just want to see, want to make sure if it's like a cutscene or like a awakenable or not, like, so I don't think so, right? I can't really tell, so that's gonna be a problem. Look at those head Vulcan. Head Vulcan is actually doing more damage. What's going on? Okay, that's hot. Are you kidding me? Head Vulcan out here doing works? Okay. Like this is the glory of using 100% cooldown on a Vulcan. Like look at that. I am just clicking on this like non-stop. That's hot. So in terms of the awakening, let's see. What? I'm still going. Okay, so awakening is like that. There's not much difference, right? I guess anyway. So if I were to activate this, right, because in terms of the actual awakening buff, there's not any there's not any shooting attack up whatsoever. So if I activate this, I shall see if that overrides or not. No, it does not. So this right here tells you guys that this is not a custom or it's not an awakenable custom EXQ. So you guys can definitely change that into whatever other custom EXQ you guys would like. So definitely not bad. Head Vulcan as out here shredding people. Are you kidding me? What world are we living in where Head Vulcan is this strong? Like, look at that. Oh my gosh. You know what? I changed my mind. I feel like Head Vulcan is better. It's a good EXQ. What is that? That's crazy. It's just the range is kind of bad, obviously. And man, look at those effects. My eyes is hurting from looking at it. It's so bright. It's cool. It's not bad. It's like it's cool and all that. No complaints, I guess, in a way. So activate this once again. It's like the DNP right there. Have like a massive stat increase for like the beam resistance, shot defense, and even health recovery. You can't ask for any more than that. And you even get like a non-flinching property for that duration. I mean, like, oh, I should have tried. Oh, let's see. Can it stun me? Come on, hit me. Yeah, I was gonna try that. Yep. Oh, I didn't even get knocked out. So let me see if I can kind of lose the awakening. And then we'll see if I'll get knocked out. So, alright, so I waited a few seconds for what will actually kill the enemy. I was trying to see if I would get knocked out afterward, but it looks like I am kind of immune, so that's actually good. So alright, so let me see. So I'm gonna purposely let them hit me first. So I'm gonna see if I'll actually get. Why is it auto firing? Oh, that's so right there it stunned me. I get knocked back. So hit me again. Someone. I guess I'm actually immune. Fire at me. Okay. Ooh. What are that? Yeah, so it looks like you are immune to like getting knocked out. So that is actually a very important thing to be looking at, because if we're fighting like a multi-mission match just like that, where you have like an enemy swarming actually like a multiple, right? Having the ability to not get knocked back is actually quite good. So honestly, not that bad. So let me hop into a quick friend match. Just want to see what we are capable of in terms of a C-powered IFS unit right there. Alright, so we are going to be doing the friend battle. So we are going to be using the S attribute build. So this is actually this week's arena specifically build for that, because this week around we do have that protect mode. So I actually stuck protect into a shooting build. So this is what we are looking at. Still a 175,000 shot attack. So this is going to be doing a type advantage damage to the P attribute enemy. So let's kind of get started now and see how much we can do. Alright, so we are in. So in terms of what I need to activate, I simply just need to activate my limber break and rush into the enemy, because in terms of this custom EXQ, it actually does have like you have to be in a close proximity. So let's see what we can do. What is the final here? I just want to see the final numbers. So that was only a 2.7 million. Was that it? Kind of keep that in mind. We do have all those different buffs going on, so that was still quite not that good, honestly. Alright guys, with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it in terms of the review for the Welfare Beginning 30 Gundam over here. So honestly, in terms of the overall status, definitely more or less on like a defensive side in terms of strictly looking at the armor base. So that's actually quite positive right there. In terms of the cutscene EX skill, I definitely feel like they have dropped the ball in terms of why they cut back on the power. Although in terms of my build, I didn't do too hard, but I feel like in terms of just clearing any event, for example, using that cutscene EX skill should be sufficient enough to just kind of clear everything. So, but overall, in terms of the design, definitely a very kind of unique with just all those kind of triangular pieces going on. So I think one last thing I forgot to show you guys is if we do go over to kind of like the painting section of it, if we do modify and then do effects, for example, you guys can see that all these effects are glowing. So that's, I actually do like this kind of like that turquoise blue, turquoise color. That it looks fairly good on this guy right here. So definitely a very intriguing unit. So overall, definitely a positive for this guy. But with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it, and then I'll catch you guys on the next one.